I can tell you that we had a pursuit. We tried to stop the vehicle for going 90 miles an hour in a 70 mile per hour zone on the freeway. Exited onto 54th Street where the vehicle initially stopped and waited there for about 15 seconds before the driver made the decision to then flee the trooper that was making the traffic stop. The pursuit lasted about 6 minutes, went about 5 miles before the accident happened at Broadmoor and 52nd Street. We released the name of the young lady who was killed at the scene. The passenger and we believe the at-fault driver, the person that was fleeing from the incident. Passenger was David Torres. He is 15 years old from Grand Rapids. There really isn't a whole lot more that I can say about the accident at this point in time. It was, the pursuit was pretty straight down 54th, 52nd Street, and it's obviously we're putting the pieces together now. Our reconstructionists and our accident investigators were on scene till about 4 o'clock in the morning, putting information together for the accident. Now we have some work to do in the backside to take all that information, put it together, and see if we can obviously a pretty good idea of how the cause of the accident was, but we can determine some speeds and things of that nature after the reconstructions are done. We have some work to do as far as the investigation goes. The driver of the vehicle that fled is currently in the hospital still, and our investigation will be through that person to see the whys he fled from us, since we don't know the answers to that question yet, as well as getting any kind of toxicology reports back on what he may have had in his system. Trooper followed policy for our pursuits. We've revamped our pursuit policy about 2.5 years ago now because we wanted to take a good hard look at when our troopers are chasing people and why they're chasing them and some of the reasons why they would stop. Annually, the troopers have to take a refresher test on that official order that we have for our pursuits, so they make sure they're reading that every year. And on top of that, we've got a lot of safeguards we've put in place since we've made the revisions to our pursuit policy. So as you said, there are several factors. The familiarity with the area, weather conditions, pedestrian traffic, vehicle traffic, how fast the violator is going, how fast the chase is going. Do we know the violator? Can we find him at a later time? And the trooper checked all those boxes off mentally and followed official orders. Now we have a second part of that too. We have not only the trooper that's involved in that pursuit that has to go through those 7 things in his mind as he's in this pursuit, we also have in place a supervisor that's listening to these things, both at the dispatch centers many times, and at this night we had a sergeant that was working that day. They're listening to what's going on with the pursuit so they can make the decision ultimately if they feel that it's becoming unsafe or all these 7 factors aren't being applied, they can terminate that as well.
So you're saying that Saturday night the sergeant did not make the determination to end the chase?
That is correct.